Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk and thank you very much for joining me today. This is the card that I've been making today, and the method was inspired by something that I saw on Jennifer Maguire's channel. Using Tulle to fill in the aperture of a card, so to make it look like there's almost nothing there, but there really is, so that you can stick things to it. Now Jennifer obviously is not a Stampin' Up demonstrator, she demonstrates for other companies. But I wondered if I could do something similar using the products and the things that we have in Stampin' Up, and this is what I've made. And if you want to see how I did it, stay with me. Here are the things that I'm planning to use today. Card base is Soft Sky, and I have cut it to 11.5 by 4 and scored and folded it at 5 3/4. I have a layer of Sahara Sand, which is a 3 3/4 by 5.5. And I've got some scraps of crumb cake, which I'm going to be die cutting out of. Now I'm going to need probably another piece the same size as this. This isn't going to be enough, but it's just there to show you. I'm going to use the Lift Me Up stamps, and I'm going to stamp in Whisper White and emboss in white embossing powder. I'm going to be doing some die cutting, so I'm going to use the Up and Away dies. And I'm also going to use the Layering Circles framelets. And the one more thing, and I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm going to use a piece of tulle, piece of net. Now this is readily available from dressmakers and haberdashers, and it's not very expensive at all. I bought two 15-yard lengths of it, this wide, and it cost me under £5, well under £5 actually. This is actually ivory, it's not actually stark white, because I thought that worked a little bit better. But those are the main supplies that I'm going to be using today. I want to cut some circles out of the fronts of these two pieces of cards, and I'm going to use my Layering Circles framelets, and I'm going to use not the largest one but the next largest, and then the next size down from that. And I want to make sure that the apertures are cut exactly where I want them into my piece of card, and I don't want to do it by trial and error because that would waste too much card. So what I've done is I have created myself a couple of patterns. Okay, and what I did, took a piece of scrap paper. This was a delivery note from some shopping, and I folded it in half, and I also folded it into thirds, and those gave me some nice sharp crease lines to help me place the die. And then I just took my die, lined it up on my pattern on my bit of paper where I wanted to, ran it through the Big Shot, and now I've got a nice pattern that will help me to align my circles and run them through the Big Shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up this piece of card, because I definitely don't want to cut the hole all the way through, because that would be silly. Although maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe, you know, you would want this to be where you wanted it to. I'm just going to line that up with the fold at the top, and now I'm going to take my die and I'm going to sit it into the aperture that I've created. And again, this is low tack tape, and in you go, buddy, there you go. And I'm just going to stick that down. And now I can run that through the Big Shot, and while I'm over there I will do the same to this one, and while I'm over there I will also die cut out a couple of those. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll be right back. So I've got the apertures cut out of the cards, and I'm going to do some stamping. And my stamps are already mounted up, and I've got the Hope Your Day is on Cloud 9, my sentiment, and I've got a couple of clouds. And I'm going to start with the sentiment. So I'm going to give that a nice coat of the Whisper White ink, and I'm going to line that up onto my my card base, and around about there I think is looking good. So press down, Now I could leave that the way it is, but today I'm going to do some embossing on it. So bring in my little tidy tray here. Normally I've got a spoon to help me with these. I don't know what I've done with it today, and yeah, I probably should have hit it with the embossing buddy before I started. Okay, and that isn't the straightest because I rushed it a bit, but do you know what? We'll pretend it's straight. So I'm going to bring in my heat gun, and I'm going to turn it on for a few seconds to warm up, and then I'm going to heat emboss this. There we go. And I've also got the two little cloud stamps, and I'm going to stamp these into onto the background of my card here. And you know, I'm not too worried about how they come out. Just keeping them to the top. I think that's enough of the big ones. I'm going to use the little ones now. It's a very subtle effect. Not quite so subtle with the small ones. Is that enough? One more there, I think. There you go. It's a very subtle effect, but it just gives me a little bit of the background inside the card there. I've cut a piece of tulle so that it covers the aperture in the card, and on the reverse of the card I have gone ahead and I have put my tear and tape, and now I'm just going to take the backing off of the tear and tape. I'm leaving that bit at the bottom where it is for the time being. And I'm going to keep a close eye on that piece of tulle because, for one thing, it's very lightweight and it will blow off my desk at the first gust of wind, and for another thing, it's not easy to see. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this onto the reverse of my card and just pat it down. Okay, now I quite deliberately cut it oversized because I wanted to make sure that I definitely had enough, and now I can just trim away the extra pieces. Just give it a haircut. Some sticking out there, so oops, missed a bit. Okay, and now if I bring in my card base, and same thing again, I've been busy with the tear and tape, and I think actually I'll put a little bit more onto my card backing. Can you hear next door's Next door's dog's not happy about something. There. And one last check to make sure there are no bits of tulle sticking out where I don't want them. Do a little trim along here. There we go. Okay. Okay. All I need to do now is to put my hot air balloons into place, and these are the two that I die cut, and I actually cut this one in, looks like I cut this one in Sahara sand, I think. Oh yeah, okay. And now to, last thing I have to do is to put the balloons into place, and I die cut two of them, and it looks like I accidentally cut that one out of Tip Top Taupe, which is retiring. But it's the crumb cake one that I want in the front, so usual method. Spread the adhesive onto the back of my hand, and just dab that into place. And I'm going to decide where I want it, and I think around about there looks good. And pop that into place, and just so that you can't see the glue from the other side, I'm putting this on the front of this piece, not the back, and I'm just going to carefully line everything up so that it's exactly where I want it to be. And pop that down. And if it's not exactly where you want it to be, just pick it up and put it down again. And there it is. The glue just needs to dry, and that will be my card finished. So there it is, there is my finished card, and I very much hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then please do leave me a comment below, click that like button, share this video, subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more videos very soon. If you want to hop on over to my blog or my Facebook page and leave me some comments there, then I would love to hear from you, and certainly on my Facebook page I'd love to see a picture of what you've been doing as well. So that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.